coming to you live from the Bonfire Studios North. It's another episode of Tauros Weekly. I'm your host, Peter Theodos. Joining me, as always, is Ken Oda. And Ken, we have a special edition of Tauros Weekly this week. First, it's on a Thursday, not a Wednesday.
Just like in the regular season when we get bumped by Wednesday games.
Exactly. Second of all, this is a very special edition because we are saying farewell to former Tauros head coach and current Sioux Falls Stampede head coach, Marty Murray. And without further ado, let's bring in the man of the hour in. Marty, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
First off, why don't you take us through a little bit about this decision and that process?
Well, it was a very, very difficult decision, no question. I think anybody that knows me, knows that how we feel about Minot and the Tauros and everybody involved with it. And, we've been here for 15 years, 5 years before the Tauros even got to town. And so it was a terribly difficult decision and lots of emotions and lots of serious talks around the dinner table. But, about 3 weeks ago, I got a call out of the blue from the ownership group in Sioux Falls. And to be honest with you, I've had these calls probably once a year the last 5 years this time of year to see if I'd have any interest in leaving. And the answer was always thanks, but, we're settled in Minot. We love it here. I have 3 kids, going to school. And that was kind of a path I thought this was going to go down too, and I got talking to, their owner called me and had a good conversation, very nice gentleman and, very sincere and just kind of talked a little bit about it with the wife at first and then brought the kids in the conversation and it took us, well, almost all of 3 weeks to finally make our mind up. We actually went down to and drove around Sioux Falls, even though we couldn't really do much about probably 10 days ago, and had a quick peek around and the facility and everything. And it's just, it was an opportunity. I felt that, if you keep turning down opportunities at some point, maybe they're not going to be there. And as much as it crushes us to leave Minot and the Tauros that have been so unbelievable to us for the last 9 years, we felt like, it was a good opportunity to make a change, and it wasn't across the country. We could still get back to this neck of the woods. We're going to keep our cabin at Lake Metagoshi, so it's summer here and stuff. So, there's a lot of things that went into it, and it was easily the most difficult decision I've ever had to make.
Marty, obviously, I think I said this to you on Sunday when I first found out about this, but I wanted to thank you for bringing me out here 8-9 years ago, whenever that was, and opening your home to me, letting me live on your couch until I found an apartment. It really just, from that moment, it spoke to what kind of person you were, and I'm excited for you to get this opportunity. But what has the Tauros organization meant to you over the last 9 years?
Everything, it's been great, and it's been a great ride. We started right from the bottom, and there's nowhere to go but up. And 10 years later, here we are. One of the most respected organizations in the league, and it started from scratch and started with Brad, obviously, laying the foundation there, and it's proud of where it is today, and I can't wait to watch it grow.
How difficult was it telling the players, and when did you eventually tell the players?
You know what? It's been an absolute whirlwind the last 2 days. I've texted with most of them. I've got to pick up the phone and call them all, but I've been in contact with, I think, just about every one of them. And, those are tough conversations. I think the world of those kids and this team was built for this year, and that's a little bit of the tough part for me is to walk away from that. But at the same time, they're in good hands with Shane and Wyatt, and I'm very happy for them to get that opportunity and I'd love to sit back from Sioux Falls and watch these guys bring a Robertson Cup to Minot.
Having just finished my first year here, the Tauros, yourself, and this whole Minot community have embraced me as one of their own and welcomed me into this Minot community family, so to speak. Kind of touch on that. What has the Minot community meant to you and your family?
Well, I mean, when I moved here 15 years ago, it was the same thing. Everybody welcomed us with open arms and accepted us and welcomed us right into the community. And 15 years later, they did the same for you. So it just speaks volumes on the community we have here in Minot, and we all should be proud to call it home. I know it'll have a special spot in our heart forever, and I think it gives us a little bit of relief that we'll spend our summers at the lake in Metagoshi and spend enough time in Minot where we can see some familiar faces and some family and friends.
Now, not to get this is Tauros Weekly, so not to get into too much detail on the new job, but you're going to a team that won it all, I believe, last season, and then they were in the playoff picture this year before everything got canceled. What kind of challenges are you looking forward to with the new gig?
Well, I think kind of like the Tauros a little bit going into next year. I think they can return a lot of players. I don't know. They won the championship 2 years ago there, and they got a lot of their players went on to college right after that run there. So they had I think they only returned 2 or 3 guys, and so they had a lot of holes to fill. So they had some growing pains. I think the first half of the season was a little difficult, and then the second half of the season, they really come on, and like you said, I think they were in a playoff position once the season ended, and so there's some optimism coming back as far as their roster, but I think there's some holes to fill too.
You mentioned some holes to fill. That'll be the case for you in the new job. It'll be the case for Marty or for Shane and Waz here in Minot as well. How much will this summer and the uncertainty around even the ability to have camps, how will that affect you, and how do you think that'll affect Waz and Wags as both teams move forward?
Well, I think for Waz and Wags, that the nice thing, and I said this 3 weeks ago before even this opportunity came up for me, was that it's a little bit, it eases your mind a little bit that you can return so many players, and I think the recruiting class is real strong. So I think it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy, but I think given the circumstances, Wyatt and Waz, they'll have a good start there, and they're both part of that. Our staff did an amazing job of recruiting the players. Not only last year's team, but this year's addition too. So I think they're gonna, Tauros fans should be excited about the product that's going to be on the ice this year. And then, for us in Sioux Falls, I mean, even for me, just getting to know the personnel that we have coming back and see where fit in. So that's going to be a challenge, and hopefully we can watch them in a camp setting, but if not, everybody's in the same boat.
Bunch of people checking in on social media. Peter Spolarich, fellow Peter, hello, how you doing? Appreciate the name, solid name. Says, thank you, Marty. You have not only been a mentor to those on the ice, but those of us also off the ice. Terry Dunbar says, Seeger says, have fun on your new job. Miranda Schuler checks in, says hi, and she also tweeted out earlier asking,
what was your favorite non-game memory with the Tauros?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Non-game, I mean, I don't know. I mean, boy, that's a tough one. I think, there's a few things non-game. I think, the Grantley thing will always be special. Prairie Grit, Dream Catchers, those type of things are things that come to mind and bring a smile on my face immediately. So, I mean, there's countless, but those are 3 things that, come to my head right away. But just the fans, the support, the city of Minot, the way they embraced us, and the first couple of years wasn't probably very enjoyable to come to hockey games. I mean, year one we won 7 games and out of 60, and from a fan standpoint, that's a beating to take every night. But they kept coming back and stuck with it, and I'll always be forever grateful for those people that stuck with us from day one, and now have reaped the rewards of having pretty solid teams here over the last number of years, and we've continued to grow our fan base. But so many great memories, and I'll cherish them forever.
This is a bit tongue-in-cheek here, but Fusion Training Camps on Twitter, for fans who don't know, that's Shane Wagner's hockey school back in Minnesota, asked in percentage form how much of your success is a direct result of your former assistant coach. And while he asks jokingly on Twitter, I think that is a valid question now with Shane taking the helm. How much did he help out, and how much faith do you have in him moving forward?
I'm real happy, as sad as I am to leave the organization. I'm real happy for Shane. He deserves this opportunity. He's bought his time. He started from the bottom up and had to prove himself, and I think has become a real respected coach, and he had a real great relationship with the players, and I'm real happy for Shane. And it'll be a little different for him, because he was kind of that middleman, like the assistant coach is a lot of the time, where you're kind of that jokester and stuff. So now he'll get to know what it's like to be a grumpy old man.
Helen Zahn, aka Nana, is wishing the best of luck, wonderful coach Marty Murray. So Nana checking in once again.
Always appreciate it.
Marty, you mentioned something a couple answers ago about the support and the growth of the team. Just walk me through a little bit over. You were with the team year one, and just seeing how has the fan base grown over the years, and how has the support grown over the years?
Well, there's no question this is a special hockey town. I mean, like I said, from day one, the support's been tremendous, and people have supported. Their corporate partners have been outstanding. And it's a community team, and to see the fan base grow, obviously moving into the Pepsi Arena was outstanding. And it's more than junior hockey. I think the folks realize A, how good the quality of hockey is, and B, pretty lucky to have it in our town. So it's going to take that continued support to keep our program great, and the right people are in charge, and it's a great thing for Minot. You even see what it's done for the youth. How many kids are playing hockey that probably wouldn't have been playing if we weren't in town. And it's just our guys going out and helping on the ice on Monday, Tuesdays with the hockey boosters. I mean, that's such a special bond that the players create with those young kids. And I'm not saying there's probably the majority would have kept on playing, but there's probably a large amount of the kids that might have shut it down after a year or two, or maybe started up because some of the players are heroes to them. So it's a win-win for everybody, and I think the Minot community understands the impact that the Tauros can have, and we exist because of their support.
You mentioned the relationships. We've had a lot of great relationships within the community. I think you mentioned Grantley as well. I think another one that has been huge since really the beginning has been Aaron Bliven. Talk about what that relationship has meant to you as a coach.
Well, Aaron's, he's responsible for getting the guys going. He's been there for, I don't know. I mean, you could probably count on one hand how many games he's missed. He's an absolute warrior, and just the Bliven family has been unbelievable. Aaron, you could tell he has a huge heart, and he knows what's going on. And I always look forward to coming down, before the game, and Aaron being in the hallway ready to get the guys going. I make sure I let him know that's his job every game, to get the guys fired up, and he does a heck of a job at it. And just reverting back to the Dream Catchers baseball game we have every year. To me, that's the kickoff to the season on Aaron's field, and they're in good hands here with our captain.
We touched on it with Miranda Schuler, your favorite non-hockey memory. Do you have a favorite memory on the ice? Was it I imagine the 2018 run had to be pretty special. Sweeping Bismarck, the first playoff series win. Is there one that sticks out to you as your favorite memory of your time as the Tauros
Well,
coach?
I think, couple that playoff run for sure. And first of all, you get to coach so many amazing people over the years, and it's been great hearing from them, in the last few days and offering congratulations. So that makes a guy feel good that, yeah, you did something good and impacted people. But I think hockey-wise on the ice, I mean, that game where we clinched against Austin to win our first ever Central Division title was unbelievable. The rink, you'll know the number, but there was over 2,200 people there. And was it, how many overtimes was it? 2?
Double overtime, yeah.
Double overtime, and just the energy in that place. I mean, I played in Saturday night and hockey night in Canada, and it felt like that energy on a junior scale that night. It certainly kept the hair on the back of my neck standing up, and so that was one of them. And then of course, the Fairbanks series was, I've been around hockey a long time, and that best of 3 we had with Fairbanks was something I'll never forget. I mean, the roller coaster of emotions of them scoring to get up on us with 2 minutes left, and then Saw tying it up, and then Pav getting the game winner there in overtime. I mean, that gets you the goosebumps every time, and I still wish we would have had a chance to have a day off. I think we win that game, that final game, probably 8 out of 10 times, but those are the rules in place. But I was awfully proud of that run, and what a wild 10 days, 2 weeks that was.
Marty, I think that just about does it. We've hit all the questions fans have had. We've hit all the questions we have had. I wanted to thank you again. And is there anything else you wanted to say before we let you go? Otherwise, I'm sure we'll all cross paths again. But this might be the last time, at least for a while, here on Tauros Weekly, for a chance to say bye to the fans.
Well, hopefully you guys invite me back again at some point. But no, I just wanted to say thanks to Minot, not only for the Tauros, but for everything. We've been here for 15 years. It's home. Brad Porter, our owner, for taking a chance on starting a hockey franchise in Minot, and ultimately giving me the opportunity to coach. And I want to thank all the staff I've worked with along the way, and front office guys. Everybody's been unbelievable, and I think there's a lot of times where I get a lot of the credit, but as soon as it comes out of their mouth, I'm quick to deflect that, because I know it's a team effort, and it takes everybody involved. And to me, it's been a total team effort since day one, and I'm just a part of it.
Marty, we appreciate you coming on. You were actually the first person from the Tauros that I met in person, so I thank you for that, and thank you for everything you've done this year and everything that you've done for the city of Minot.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, Marty. Thanks
Marty.
for coming on. That is the new head coach of the Sioux Falls Stampede, Marty Murray. And it's been an emotional week, and it has been a lot of goodbyes and a lot of new hellos.
Yeah, it's been. It certainly hasn't been the easiest week. I think between finding out on Sunday and us announcing everything Tuesday and Wednesday, I think I had something like 13 hours total of sleep over 4 days or whatever it was. Just trying to go through and get everything in place and figure out everything we need to do. But and some of that was just me not sleeping because my mind was going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's bittersweet, I think is the right word. Marty used it, Brad used it. I am thrilled for Marty on a personal level as a friend of his. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for that opportunity. And I'm excited for Wags and Waz. Those are a couple of guys that have been with the organization for a long time now. Wags finished his 3rd season as assistant coach. Waz has been working with goalies for 4 years. I have a ton of respect for those guys. I'm excited to see what those guys can do as well in the new positions. So it's a weird mix of being, you're sad to see Marty go, but you're excited for him. I'm excited for the other guys. I think overall, you don't replace a guy like Marty Murray. You just don't.
You can't.
And I don't think that should be the goal either. Wags doesn't need to come in and be the next Marty. He needs to come in and be the first Wags, and I think he'll be very good at that. So I'm excited to see, how this changes what the organization looks like. I know for sure, the professionalism's not going to fall off.
No, not at all.
It's not. I know hockey-wise, you look at the roster that's coming back, the guys who are signed for next year. We're still going to be a good team. They're still going to be a well-coached team. I have no doubt about that. So I think it's certainly, it stings at first, but I think it's good. It's good for everyone. And really that is the goal here, that whether it's players, coaches, us, you're not planning to be in Minot forever. That is the goal, to come here and move up the ladder. And that's exactly what's happening. I think it's a good thing. And as our alum go on and have success, it just reflects better and better on the base we have here and what people, whether it's coaches, players, or staff, are learning here in Minot, and it looks good when we go on and do well. You
talk about players coming in and the roster improving and all that, and we're going to actually talk to Wags, the new head coach, Shane Wagner, and the assistant GM, Chris Lonke, next week on Tauros Weekly.
On our regularly
scheduled yes. Wednesdays at 7:30 about the upcoming draft.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. We've got the supplemental draft, just a 3-round draft on May 12th to help offset the weirdness that is this summer and help teams still be able to plan. They're doing a 3-round supplemental draft on May 12th. Next week, we'll have Wags and Assistant General Manager Chris Lonke on to talk about that. So, really not a lot of time for everyone to adjust to new roles. And I think that's another thing that we didn't touch on with Marty, that support system will still be there for Wags and Waz as they learn in their new roles. Chris Lonke's staying on. Brad Clayton staying on. Our entire scouting staff is staying on. So we're adding
Shane's brother on too.
Yeah, he's done a little bit of scouting with us before, but now he'll be on an official basis as well. So that player procurement system will still be there. Good players will still be found. Good players will still be signed, and they'll come here and they'll still continue to be treated. I know Brad Porter's not going anywhere, which means the players are going to be well taken care of, and Wags and Waz are definitely going to coach them well. So, after getting over the initial shock, I don't want to undersell what Marty did here, but I also don't want to. I'm not worried.
No. And another thing too is this community of Minot. We're still going to have phenomenal billet families. We're still going to have a phenomenal fan base that's going to come out night in, night out, and make the Pepsi Rink literally the best place to play in the entire NAHL. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You and I have been talking. It's the 10th year. It's going to be a huge year of celebrations, maybe a couple of reunions and all that, and it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be good hockey, and it's going to be a fun year to celebrate the 10th year of the Minot Tauros.
I spent an hour today on the phone with Amanda from PRNA talking about the 10-year history video that we're going to have for the start of the season, and going in that direction. So there's a lot of cool things we're going to get to do for the 10-year, and I'm excited for that.
Another cool thing that we're doing, once again, the Dash Auctions.
Yes.
Which we started another week today. We have if I remember correctly, we have the Ben Garrity black alternate jersey, which is a goalie cut. That is on there.
Committed to Wisconsin.
Yeah, committed to Wisconsin.
He'll be a goaltender at University of Wisconsin next year.
Yeah, we have a Ryan Peterson side puck, a Cade Stibbe signed puck. I'm pretty sure there's a Cole O'Connell puck. And in honor of Marty Murray leaving, we have a Marty Murray signed puck on there. So you can get the second Tauros head coach autographed puck.
And then as well, today is the last day for the Tauros Stay Home Challenge. We've got Joseph Hargindegi, JoJo, put up a challenge for fans to do their best Kobe fadeaway shot. He did his beer pong style, but you don't have to. I just want to see your best, whether you've got a hoop in your driveway or a trash can in your bedroom. Let's just see your best.
Dirty laundry basket.
Yep, dirty laundry. Let's see your best Kobe fadeaway. Get it on video. Tag it on social media with the Tauros Stay Home Challenge. And
not giving any ideas, but to all the little brothers out there, if you have a little sister, not to get you in trouble.
Uh-oh. You can finish this thought. I'm washing my hands of it right now.
That's going to do it for another episode of Tauros Weekly. I'm your host, Peter Theodos. I may not be after that comment. That's Ken Oda. Sean Bachoven, always behind the scenes. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you once again to Marty Murray for everything that he did. And, forgot to give my mother a shout-out last week.
Yeah.
So...
I saw the comment and specifically didn't say anything so that you could say hi to your mom, and then the show ended.
Yeah, and that's on me. So, Mom, if you're still watching, hello. Thanks for tuning in. All of you, thanks for tuning in. Once again, Ken Oda, Peter Theodos. We'll see you next week.